I hope you all must have finished the homework question, which was like this. How much time will it take for an amount of rupees 450 to yield rupees 81 as interest at 4.5% per annum of simple interest? Now what do we need to find out here? We need to find time taken. So we'll use the basic formula. Nothing to do much here. So simple interest is equal to PRT upon 100. So what are parameters do we all already know? We know simple interest, we know the principal, that is 450, we know the time rate, we didn't know the time. Alright, so if you solve it, then T will become 81 times 100 upon 450 times 4.5, right? 81 times 100 upon 450 times. Alright, so it will be 4 years. So once again we will look at the question. The question was, how much time will it take for an amount of rupees 450 to yield rupees 81 as interest at 4.5% per annum of simple interest? We wrote simple interest formula. Simple interest is equal to PRT upon 100. So we put the values which we know. Alright, and the variable which we didn't know, we left that variable as it is. So 81 is equal to 450 times 4.5 times t upon 100. So time period can be calculated and it will be 4 years. Alright, now we'll move to next question. The next question says, Reena took a loan of rupees 1200 with simple interest for as many years as the rate of interest. If she paid rupees 432 as interest at the end of the loan period, what was the rate of interest? She took a loan of rupees 1200. Okay, so principal will be 1200, and here she took it for the loan was taken with simple interest for as many years at the rate of interest. So T will be equal to R. Okay, if she paid rupees 432 as interest at the end of the loan period, what was the rate of interest? So 432 will be the simple interest. So this question is very easy. We'll do it here. So the question says, we'll write the simple interest formula, that is PRT upon 100. So we just need to feed in the values which you already know. What is principal? Principal is 1200 times R. What is R? R is equal to T. So R times R, because we need to find out the rate of interest. Okay, so now what else we need to do? We need to find out R square, the value of R. So if you solve it, you will get 12R square is equal to 432, right? That means R square will be equal to 36, or you can say R is equal to 6. So rate is 6%. Understood? So we'll quickly go through this question once again. Reena took a loan of rupees 1200 with simple interest for as many years as the rate of interest. If she paid rupees 432 as interest at the end of the loan period, what was the rate of interest? We need to find out the rate of interest. So simple interest is equal to PRT upon 100. In the question it is given that R is equal to T, right? Because R is equal to T, so we can easily write the formula for simple interest as P R square upon 100. So 432 will be 1200 R square upon 100. If you just if you try to solve it, you will get the value of R square as 36. So R will be 6. Okay, now we'll move to next question. Next question says, a man took loan from a bank at the rate of 12% per annum at simple interest. After 3 years he had to pay rupees 5400 interest only for the period. The principal amount borrowed by him was, we need to find out principal here. What this question says, he took a loan at rate R is equal to 12% per annum. Okay, so R will be 12%. After 3 years, the time period is 3 years. he had to pay rupees 5400 interest. So interest that was required to be paid was 5400. So 5400 rupees is simple interest here. Okay, this question is very easy. We'll do it again in the same way. We'll write the basic formula of simple interest. Simple interest is equal to PRT upon 100. So we need to put in all the values here. If we put in all the values here, so we'll get it as, so what is the simple interest but given to be 5400 rupees principal that is required to be found out. What is P? P is 12, and what is T? He took it for 3 years. Okay, upon 100. So now if we solve it, the value of P will be 5400 times 100 divided by 36, so it will be 15,000. Okay, so the answer is rupees 15,000. These questions are very easy. You just need to look up at the language of the question itself. Here the question said you have to find out the principal amount. That means you have to find P. Everything else is given, so you just need to put in the formula simple interest is equal to PRT upon 100. So you will get the principal as rupees 15,000. Alright. Now we'll move to question number 6. The question 6 says a sum of money amounts to rupees 9800 after 5 years and rupees 12,005 after 8 years at the same rate of simple interest. The rate of interest per annum is. Now we need to find out rate. We did one concept while solving question number 1, that simple interest for every year remains the same. So if simple interest for 3 years is 9800, if simple interest at 5 years is 9800 and for 8 years it is 12,005, what would be simple interest for 3 years? Then what would be the simple interest for 1 year? Then what would be the simple interest for everything else, right? So we can easily find out that particular thing, and we can find out the principal and everything. Okay, so now we'll do it here. So what to write first here is simple interest for 3 years is equal to rupees simple interest for 8 years minus simple interest for 5 years, right? So it will be 12,005 minus 9800. 12,005 minus 9800, right? So it will be rupees 2,205. Okay, now we got a simple interest for 5 years. What will be simple interest for 1 year? For 1 year it will be 22,205 divided by 3, right? Now simple interest for 5 years is already known. So now we can find out simple interest for 5 years. That would be equal to 2205 divided by 3 times 5. Okay, so it will be 3,675 rupees. Okay, that this is simple interest for 5 years. Here in the question we are given that the total amount to be paid after 5 years is 9,800 rupees. So what would be the principal here? So to find out the principal here, what do we need to do? We need to subtract 3,675 from some value. So P will be, because the total amount that is paid after 5 years was 9,800 rupees, right? So we will subtract 9,800 and 3,675. It will become 6,000 rupees, 6,125. Okay, so this will be the principal after 5 years, or we can write here principal after 5 years. So principal after 5 years will become 6,125. Now we know everything that would help us to calculate the correct answer for our question. So what to write here now? Now we got P, so we'll use the basic formula simple interest is equal to PRT upon 100. So we need to put in all the values. What is simple interest for 5 years? Now we'll do it for 5 years. It is 3675, right? What is the principal? Principal is 6125, right? What about the rate of interest that is to be calculated? So R will be here as it is. What is T? Time period will be 5 because we are calculating it for 5 years upon 100. Okay, so if you solve it, you will get R as 12%. Okay, so the question was so easy. So we are required to find out the rate of interest per annum, and we did that. So once again we'll see, because here total money to be given after 5 years and 8 years is given, then if we subtract 8 and 5 years money, we'll get simple interest for 5 years, because the principal will be the same in both 85 years and 8 years. Principal is never gonna change. The thing which is changing is simple interest, but that particular thing is also equal in every year. So when we are subtracting 8 and 5 years amount, that means we are getting simple interest for 3 years. Then we can find our simple interest for 1 year. Similarly, we can find our simple interest for 5 years. So we already know the amount that is to be paid after 5 years, so the principal will be that amount subtracted by simple interest for 5 years. So it will be 6,125. So just put in the formula, simple interest is equal to PRT upon 100, so R will be 12%. Alright, so take this down, this question as a homework question. What will be the ratio of simple interest earned by certain amount at the same rate of interest for 6 years and that for 9 years? Till then, goodbye, take care, have a great time. This is Gaurav Walia from Kersak Education. Thank you.